webinar on the role of youth in leadership and entrepreneurship. Yeah, so basically, who is Lucy? Lucy Muthuku is an award-winning youth advocate at both the regional level and at the national level. I'm an ambassador for the African in the World Leader Summit. Of course, I'm the CEO of National Youth Caucus Kenya, which really helps in advocating for the issues affecting the youth in different levels, that is socially, technologically, politically, and in all dimensions of life. I'm recipient of different levels of awards, with 2021 being an awardee of the Youth Leader of the Year 2021 by Peace League Africa, an awardee of 2020 award for the selfless dedication to humanity by Public Service, that is adopted for the Kenyan government. And of course, the latest for the 2022, it's a Rising Star Award for the Rising Star Award for the Women on Board Network. That is a global award, and as well as an award for the Gender Mainstreaming Awards, which is also a global award in the category of youth empowerment and women empowerment as well, and also promoting equality among both genders. I'm a public policy, I'm a youth specialist, I'm an entrepreneur, an author. It's an autobiography of my book, which is actually in the last or final stages of publication. A speaker and an SDG advocate and champion. Yeah, I'm also a student. That is an aspect which many people don't know. Pursuing civil engineering, I'm a finalist, as well as a holder of a diploma in IR, that is international relations, and also procurement and logistics. So that is all about Lucy. So I really want to welcome you and to thank everyone for making it to today's webinar, whereby we're going to learn a lot from one another. Allow me to tackle the elephant in the room, the youth and their place in entrepreneurship and in leadership and governance. What is our role as young people? And to begin with, I love telling stories, and I love comparing the aspects of life, and especially when it comes to youth empowerment. What is our role? And just like a flower in a bouquet of flowers, which contributes to the overall beauty of the flowers, every citizen, every young person, every youth has a role to play in the economy of a country. And it is not until we understand that we have the biggest role as young people to play in the economy of the country, that is when we can make progress. And just to give a little biography about me, I've started by saying who is Lucy Muthuku, but I have a story to tell. And through that story, you can relate it to today's topic, which is the role that we as the young people, we as the youth, and when they talk of the youth, I'm talking of 18 years to 35 years. I believe that we are ready to learn from that. So basically, after my high school, I don't know what you guys have from your side, what you call it, but high school is the secondary, that is before joining higher institutions of learning. So that is when I cleared my high school. I volunteered actually in public service as a youth mentor. And during my volunteering, that is when I really got to learn a lot. And that was like an eye-opener. That is an opportunity. I had identified a niche of what I wanted to do with my life. And I had started doing like online mentorship programs whereby I would hold sessions, talk to young people and youth on how we can grab opportunities that come our way. And that is how someone identified me and referred me to the public service. In the public service, I met an ambassador, and in that department, he asked me, Lucy, where do you think your strength is? And I was like, I think I can do well in the youth docket. I can head the youth docket. So that is how I began the journey to greatness, and I gave it my best. That was in 2018. The year 2018. In 2020, that is when I left public service and I formed an organization, that is National Youth Caucus, which was to advocate for youth issues in all dimensions of life. So today, at times, let me just relate to what I've just said. I hope you're getting me clearly. I don't know why I feel like type a 111 on the chat box if you can hear me. Let's interact. Let's make the session as interesting as possible. Let's use our chat box. Thank you so much. Thank you. So what is our role as young people? As I've said, just as a flower, every piece of flower in a bouquet has a role to play to make that whole bouquet very beautiful. And that is the same challenge that I give every young person out here, whether you are in Kenya, whether you are in India, from whichever country you are, you have a role to play to make the world a better place for us to stay. And to begin with, you know, we young people at times we feel like we're not engaged as to our expectations. We feel like the government is not doing enough. Sometimes we feel like it's unfair because we are the majority, yet at times we are received or perceived as the minority, even when it comes to making and implementing policies. We feel like we don't have like enough representations in the houses of laws, in the civil societies. We feel like we're not making progress in life, and we just feel like everything is just a doom, and we like, what can we do about it? And I'm here to tell you that we all have a role to play. We must start by grabbing opportunities. I tell people, did you know that there are so many opportunities out here which are just waiting for you to trigger, which are just waiting for you to knock that door, and opportunities will come flowing away. Most times we just sit down and complain and complain and complain, not knowing that we must make that bold step. We must make that step. We must take that action so that we can grab those opportunities, and through that we will have made our life easier and those of others who look up to us. So I will talk on the aspect of grabbing opportunities. Remember that nothing comes easy. No one will come to knock your door and tell you, you know what, Lucy, I have these and these and these and these. You must prove to the best abilities, to whichever capacity that you are capable of doing it, and you are ready actually to take that task. I've actually not got here by maybe any favor. No, I've had to take that bold step out there and grabbed that opportunity. That is actually the only difference that makes most of us different from where the levels that we want to get to. It's because we've not decided what we want with our lives, and we've not taken that bold step into making a difference. And in the aspect of grabbing opportunities, it is not until we have starvation for success. That is only when we starve for hunger, when we have starve for success, that is only when we can make that difference. And at times we feel like I don't want to call it ego, I don't want to call it pride, but at times we young people, we have lots of ego. We don't want to empty our cups to get to understand or to get to bigger opportunities. For instance, did you know that I do mentorship programs even for primary school kids, the teenagers? Why? Because I know such opportunities, no matter how small they are, they may be just blocking a very big opportunities. You never know the person you will talk to. You don't know the person you will meet out here. And that is why I urge you today, go and grab that opportunity the moment you leave here. It doesn't matter how small the opportunity is. And just in that journey of greatness, because it's a journey to greatness, and I want to affirm to you that you are meant to be great. Greatness is where we belong. The top is where we belong. It's upon you and every one of us who is present in this webinar to get to the top unapologetically, and to have whatever it takes to be at the top. I'll actually share with you only 5 P's of the journey to greatness, or what can really make you or your journey smooth, even as you face lots of challenges. At times you feel so low, you feel demotivated, you feel like I'm not making any progress in life. And these 5 P's will really, really help you. That is passion, purpose, persistence, pragmatism, and of course, positivity. Those are the 5 P's which will really, really help you to get to where you want to be. And to start with positivity. You know, positivity is the practice of being positive, or being optimistic, or being hopeful in life. At times, you have to stay away from people who discourage your ambitions. I tell people it's true that dream stealers will always be there. For instance, you can tell someone, you know what, I want to be the president of the Republic of India. And they will be like, hey, Lucy, stop what you're doing. You're not even serious. That is a dream stealer. So what you do, small minds will always tell you that that is not possible. But great minds will always remind you that you can do great, you can be great as well. And hence, someone really said that sit with, sorry about that. Someone said, sit with winners and the conversation is totally different. So right now, it's called the power of association. Who is in that circle of yours? Who do you really associate with as a young person? If you really want to be, you want to be like Bill Gates, you have to start looking at what exactly did this person do to get to where they are. Who are you really spending most of your time with? Who are you sharing your ambitions with, so that you don't get dream stealers, people who really discourage you? And I tell people this, do we face tough times? Of course, yes. And for every obstacle, you should see it as your strength. It is actually what makes what the difference between a winner and as a loser is how they handle the strength, the obstacles that they face in life. I tell people that, and there is a book that I will really refer you to read, that is called Tough Times Never Last, but of course stuff people do. And that is one thing that I really want you to sink into your heads, that we all face. How you handle those challenges is what determines whether you will get to the heights that you dream of and where you want to get to. And of course, network to the fullest as a young person. And again, I insist, don't network with everyone. Network with the right people, because the right people are the people you get to. And they are more confident, and thus they tend to set their goals higher, and they spend most of their efforts in order to reach to their goals. They are also more resilient in order to achieve their goals, which really actually helps them to bounce back and persevere despite of the setbacks that they come through. They say obstacles are sources to make them stronger. And of course, they keep going no matter what. They are just positive, and to choose to be, just do positive vibes, and that one will just help you a lot. I hope the positivity part came out clearly, and I urge you people to be positive about everything. Forget about all the negativity, just focus on what works, what is positive. In every obstacle, just see the goodness that can really help or come out from that setback. So, and with that, I think I am set to go to the second P, which is purpose. And what is your purpose in life? Find your purpose in order to live a successful life. Your purpose is that one that aligns with your interests, with your values, and that one that you find motivating. What is your value? What is your purpose in life? Your life purpose is your personal mission. Okay. It's actually how you plan to make your value, how to make your purpose in this life, that will really determine whether you're going to be successful or not. And to determine your purpose, there are several questions that you must ask yourself as a young person. What are your strengths? What are you good at? You cannot be good at everything. For instance, if you're good at mentoring, please give it your best. I'm not saying that you shouldn't concentrate on your weaknesses, but focus on what really works. What are you best at? You can also, what interest would you like to explore? You're trying to get your purpose here. What are your strengths? What would be your interest? What new interest would you like to explore? Would you want to venture into the leadership and governance space? That would be your interest. You're trying to look for your purpose in life. What do you like about yourself? That is another question that you can really ask yourself, so that you can get your purpose. What as a young person, what do you like yourself? What do you value most? What do you find yourself in flow? As in, what is that thing that when you're doing it, you just feel like, wow, I'm just really enjoying doing it. And finally, what can you really contribute into this world? You know, God did not create you. God did not bring you into this world without giving you a purpose. But again, it is your responsibility. It is my responsibility as Lucy. It is my responsibility as a young person to identify the purpose. You can really do it with your friends. They can help you identify what are your strengths, what best works for you. And I think that is all about purpose. And today I challenge you as a young person to also identify your purpose and kindly work to make that dream come true. And with that, I go to the third P, which is passion. And I always say passion above profession. Wow. Passion above profession. Passion is a strong feeling of excitement for something or about doing something. How excited are you? Do you have that energy to do something? Passion above profession. Passion gets you to things that to the things that are necessary to grow and to improve. Instead of going through the motions of life, you will push on and work harder to solve problems. That is passion. Are you passionate about what you're currently doing? Maybe you're in school, you're pursuing maybe engineering, but maybe your passion is empowering other people. Maybe your passion is in leadership. Please, other than the profession part, make sure you're doing what you love doing. And when you love what you do, that is not actually profession, that is passion. If you are into teaching, if you are into tech, and you really have the zeal, you have the excitement about it, you have the passion, give it your best. And it's actually the best feeling that as a young person you can do. That is doing something that you really love. Wow, you will get to the top because you're so passionate about it. You're giving it your whole, you invest in your time, you're doing it in the best way that you can, and that is the only way at times you can get to the top. If you're passionate about something, you will be able to sustain it even in difficult times. When temptations come, when you feel like giving up, you find a reason to keep moving forward, and that is the power of passion. Passionate correlates to a person's desire and capacity to go above and beyond the call of duty to achieve super outcomes. And passion is an overwhelming drive to reach one's dreams and goals. Today, I challenge you as a young person. You know, we feel like we don't have that skill to pursue whatever we want to. Please ensure that in whatever you're doing, you're so passionate. Naturally, the moment you're so passionate about flow, because the moment you find yourself having a challenge, you will always find a way to maneuver. You will always find a way, even forget that you're facing an obstacle. That is if the why am I doing it in this place as a young person? What really keep you going as a that? I go to the fourth P, and that is persistence. Wow. I'll persist until I win. I will persist until I win. I mean, I don't have like a plan B. It must work. It will work. It should work. I will persist. And through that, I will tell you people, I will refer you to a book that you can really read about persistence. It's called The Greatest Salesman in the World. If you've read it, you can be sure that it's an eye-opener. And if you've not read the book, make sure you get yourself a copy. The Greatest Salesman in the World by O.G. Madino. And he says, I'll persist until I win. You persist until you win. Persistence is a firm continuance of a course of action in spite of all the opposition and all the difficult situations that you face as a young person. Understanding that failure is a common thing and it's part of the journey, and we're learning the process, and that giving up is never an option. By the way, let me tell you something. If you really want to win, giving up actually should never be an option. You should delete it from your dictionary and just say, you know what, I have a plan A and a plan A, and it will work. Though at times you should bear in mind that failure is part of the journey. But how are you going to recollect yourself from failure? Does it mean every challenge that you face, you just give up? No. Winners are never quitters. And that is one thing that they state. It's evident. You've seen so many successful people out there, people who are doing better, the likes of Bill Gates, the likes of John C. Maxwell, the likes of Elon Musk, the like Oprah, name them. Every big person that we really want to be like them, they've faced challenges. And the only difference between them and the people who failed, it's because they quit. It's because they gave up. Giving up is never an option, and it will never be, and it should never be. Actually, today I challenge you as a young person, ensure that you delete the word giving up in your dictionary. Calvin once said, nothing in this world can take the place of persistence in life. Talent will never, wisdom will never, education will never. Persistence is omnipotent, and persistence is something that you can never run away from if you really want to be successful. You must persist. You must come down. If the dream doesn't work, come back and to the drawing board and re-strategize. Is this what I really want to achieve? Did it work? No. What really worked, or what can we re-strategize? What can really be adjusted so that it works? That is one of the things that you can really do at times when you face challenges. But the fact that you know that tough times never last, but tough people do. As you're growing, as you become persistent on your journey to success, you need to understand that you will have at some point to grow a thick skin, because you will always find problems. And that one, I repeat, at times you feel I think I'm so done with this thing. I don't want anything to do with it again. I mean, that is life. Failure is part of life. Everyone has faced their struggles, but how we solve the problems, how we overcome the challenges we face in life is what really determines whether we're going to be successful or not. And so that you remain persistent, there are questions or a few things that you really need to do. Number one, you have to understand, why am I doing this? You have to identify your why so that you can give it a reason to cling onto that even when problems come. Maybe I'm doing it because of my family. Maybe I'm looking at the situation of the country. I'm looking at the challenges that the young people are facing. Is that your why? Identify your why. When the why is so big, the how becomes so easy. So set your reason as to why you're doing this. Set your why so big so that the how to do it becomes so easy. And then you have to plan in a 3D. When I talk of planning in a 3D, I say, this is what I mean. Number one, you have to define it, you have to divide it, and you have to develop it daily. That is the 3D plan. You have to define it, you have to divide it, and you have to develop it daily. And then you have to train yourself how to undertake the challenges. You have to train yourself how exactly, what scope am I going to use it to get to there? What if my goal is maybe to get an A in my academics, what strategy am I going to lay so that I get that strategy, so that I can get that dream achieved or that goal come true? You have to identify your reasons and believe in the reasons as a young person. You have to also evaluate your habits, and you have to seek specialized advice. That is why there is a need for you as a young person to have a mentor or a role model. This is someone who really inspires you in one way or the other. This is someone who has been to where you want to be, and this is someone who really means, or there are people who have lots of influence and they can impact you, and not only impacting but impacting positively. So the question that I really want to ask you as a young person, do you have a mentor? Do you have a role model that you're looking up to? Do you have someone, when you do this, they tell you, you know what, Lucy, that is not the right thing to do, and this is what you do when you get to this point? Do you have a guide? Do you have someone who really leads you in the right way? And of course, team up. As a young person, your friends, someone really said, if you're the only rich person in your village, then you're not rich. Please make sure you also grow with your team. It gives you the inner joy. It gives you some sort of satisfaction as a young person, seeing that you're winning with your friends as well. And then that gets me to the last P, that is pragmatism. How practical do we get our things done? This is an approach that evaluates theories or beliefs in terms of success of their practical application. This is about how practical. One thing, actually dreaming is free. And that is one thing that I really love telling people, but also to remind you that the world is no longer looking for dreamers. It's looking for people who are making the dreams come true. With pragmatism, you're able to understand, okay, I want to be, this really helps you avoid frustrations in your journey to success. Because frustrations are so real, especially when you don't meet your goals, when you don't meet the objectives, when you don't meet your dreams. You cannot just wake up and say, we have less than how many days so that the year comes to an end, and to tell people, you know very well that you're doing nothing about it, but you just want to maybe have a chopper or a private jet. It's not even practical. In as much as you have goals to set, you have dreams to achieve, as a young person, they have to be very practical. And that is where the pragmatism part of it comes in. How are you going to set your goals so that they are practical? How are you going to set your questions that what approach are you going to use so that it comes easier when you're making decisions, when you have to provide a solution to a problem? How practical are you? What approach are you going to do? And this helps us to avoid procrastination as a young person, and you end up taking action. Bottom line of all these as a young person is, as I told you, no one will bring those opportunities to you. As a young person, you have to knock those doors. As a young person, you have to do whatever it takes to ensure that you get to that place, to ensure that you've taken action as a young person. And I think that is all about the 5 P's that I really, I'm sure they will really help you in this journey to success. That is pragmatism, purpose, persistence, passion, and positivity as a young person. And as I said, in entrepreneurship, why should we venture into entrepreneurship? I'm sure here in every African country, unemployment is among the youth, not only among the youth, but unemployment is a challenge a major challenge that is really affecting a number of countries. And as a young person, for you to be able to solve this problem of unemployment, what are you going to do? We need to think outside the box. You need to be committed to what can we do so that we can create job opportunities for more people out here. That is now the entrepreneurship aspect. This is someone who brings human capital into place and they work on a common goal. That is an entrepreneur. We cannot all be entrepreneurs, but we can contribute into the entrepreneurship. We can contribute into making a change into this world. So as a young person, I urge you to think outside the box. What solutions can we offer to the world? Looking at what is really affecting us right now, the climate change crisis. What opportunities as young people can we come up with so that it's a sustainable solution? And it will also it's not only a solution, but it will also create opportunities for we as young people. Okay? Just think outside the box. When you're interacting with people, ensure you get into healthy conversations, into conversations that are really helping. And with that, you will read books, actually read books. I tell people that leaders are readers. Ensure that you read lots of books, and through that, you will have diverse knowledge, even to sit on any table. Above all, believe in yourself as a young person. Know that you have whatever it takes. Go talk about your dream to everyone. Put the negativity away. Whichever works for you, well and good. Whichever doesn't work for you, there is always a plan that is already working for you. As a young person today, I urge you, gather that confidence, believe in yourself, go knock in that office, tell them and share about your dreams. I mean, people will always come and support you. That is one challenge that I'm sure even when I'll be taking questions from you people, majority will ask, but how do we get these opportunities? Opportunities will be there, and if you don't get them, and you young people. And just as my parting shot, before I take the questions, is that I leave with you 10 ways that you can really help you to become a great youth leader or a leader in whichever level you are at, whether youth or whether a women leader, whether a leader in every level or in every category that you wish to be. Number one, as a leader, you have to have a plan, but remain flexible. I mean, don't be too rigid about a plan. If you feel like it can be readjusted, please do it. Please take opinion from other people, and then empower others. Give others opportunities to participate, to lead, and so that they can build the skills as well. If you really want to, actually, this is a secret that I'm telling you people. If you really want to go far, make sure you have a team of empowered people. These are a team that you really give opportunities when they come up. I challenge you today. Have a team. It doesn't have to be a great team. It doesn't have to be a big circle, but just look at how you can really help influence or impact someone's life positively. And that is empowerment. Give others opportunities as well. Don't be so selfish. Don't say, when I give Lucy an opportunity, she's going to surpass. I mean, what is yours will always be yours. It can never be someone else. And it is not until we understand that we will start making progress. So learn to empower others as well. You have to get organized as a young person. What exactly do I want? What route or what scope, what strategy am I going to use to get to where I want to be? And then I repeat again, you have to wear a thick skin. You have to wear a thick skin as a young person. Problems are real. At times, challenges are so real. At times, you may end up getting depressed because of what you have, some dreams. Things are not just adding up. So as a young person, as long as you want to get into the top, please make sure you get a thick skin. And then be ready for anything. I mean, anything can happen. The moment you get going to the top, anything can happen. You can find yourself back to the drawing board. So how do you recollect yourself when shit happens? And then remember that it's not all about you. In whichever thing that you want to decide, how is the environment about surrounding? How is the environment? How is the surrounding? How are your friends? How your family going to how is that decision going to affect them? So remember that at times, as much as it's all about you, again, it's not all about you. As much as this is about Lucy, it's not all about you. You have lots of people who are looking up to you as a young person. So it's not all about you. I repeat, it's not all about you. Then when you're stuck, remember to ask for help. And of course, have a plan B or a plan Z. You see, I tell people, one way to keep moving as a young person is that you have to be very unpredictable, especially in the aspect of a dream stealer can come in. When they think you're going to reveal your plan B, please reveal plan Z. And that is one way that you will remain even competitive in the market. Yes, don't be predictable at all. They think you're going I mean, yes, please, don't be predictable. Yes. Thank you so much. I think I've shared a lot about the 5 P's and different ways which you can help, which can help you become a great youth leader. Before my part in short, maybe I'll take questions from you. So, and I don't want to use the chat box kindly. This one, I think someone can really unmute themselves and maybe, or what criteria should we use? Let me check. Anyone with a question? I'm also a student, so I would be glad if I learn from you as well. Questions kindly?
Ma'am, I have a question for you. Ma'am, good afternoon.
Ma'am, I have a question for
you. Am I audible?
Any question?
Yeah, I have a question.
What are the skills we need to acquire to be a good entrepreneur?
Ma'am, I
Any
have a small question. Yeah. Shall I type in the chat box, please?
Sorry?
Yeah, I have a small question for you.
I think I'm not getting you clearly.
I have a question for you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
What are the skills we need to acquire to be a good entrepreneur?
What
are the skills we need to acquire to be a good entrepreneur?
I think I'm losing you at some point. What are the skills? Could you kindly
What are
put it
the
on the chat box?
skills you need to be a good entrepreneur?
Please type the question in the chat. Thank you. Anyone who had the question clearly, what are the skills you need to acquire to be a good entrepreneur? Okay. Skills.
The questions are sir, the questions are typed in the chat box.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yes. We have many questions in the chat box.
I think I can start with the first one. What skills we need to acquire to be a good entrepreneur? Actually, the biggest skill as an entrepreneur is that you should be willing to be a risk taker. And the moment you understand that entrepreneurship is all about risking, but again, calculated risks. How are you going to ensure that you don't get into risks, into actually major risks as an entrepreneur? That way, you will get yourself done and will not find a challenge as you want to grow your business. You will not have a major challenge as a young person. So there are a number of skills that you can acquire as a young person. But the most outstanding is that you have to be a risk taker. So because it has collapsed, you also collapse as well. I mean, it doesn't operate that way. And through risk-taking skill, you get to understand what really works, what should I invest in as a young person, as an entrepreneur, and how to minimize on the risks and how to maximize on the profits of whichever objective that your organization, company, or firm is working on. I think I've answered your question. What are the biggest challenges to being an entrepreneur? The biggest, as different entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship is a broad industry. It could be an entrepreneur in the tech industry. You could be an entrepreneur in fashion. You could be an entrepreneur in foods. You can be an entrepreneur in manufacturing. It's a wide aspect. So the biggest challenge as an entrepreneur are fears. We are afraid of what may go wrong instead of focusing on what may go right. As an entrepreneur, I mean, at times you have to put your fears aside. And today I was telling people, it's not even the aspect of I'll try. As young people and as entrepreneurs, as upcoming entrepreneurs, as also entrepreneurs who have really failed, we feel like the aspect of what if things don't work right? What if something may go wrong? What if I end up failing? How am I going to handle that whole scenario? And the biggest challenge is the biggest challenge in entrepreneurship is actually fear. Most people focus on what may go wrong. And today, if you want to venture into entrepreneurship, I'll actually leave my email so that we can really connect on the classes of entrepreneurship. But you must be willing to put aside your fears. You must be positive about everything. What if it works? Okay, you must be ready to understand that as an entrepreneur, everything is possible, but majorly concentrate on what may really work better. And someone else has asked on the skills of an entrepreneur. Number one, as an entrepreneur, you must be ready to learn. I mean, learning is an aspect that you can never do away without. You must be ready to learn each and every single day. You must be ready to strategize. You must have clear strategy of what exactly am I going to do? What is it that I want to achieve? You must outline your strategies in a better way. You must put up your scope of work. You must identify what is it exactly that I want to venture into. And of course, as an entrepreneur, actually the main way as an entrepreneur you can remain competitive in the market is number one, you don't just get into the market blindly. You must be able to identify a niche or a problem that you really want to solve. Is it that maybe people are having a challenge in when it comes to the health? Are you having a problem with maybe food? What can I do? That way it will help you identify the kind of problem that you want to solve, and then you can get into entrepreneurship. You must be ready to learn. You must be ready to strategize. As an entrepreneur, you must be ready to strategize. Strategy, and then focus. At times as entrepreneurs, someone comes and shares their dreams and you're like, can I really also try that? I mean, what you have to focus. You have to understand that what really works for Lucy doesn't necessarily mean that it will work for you. You must be willing to understand that we are all destined differently. We are all having different ideas. We all having different markets, and so we can never be the same. So you must focus as kids. Communication is key in entrepreneurship. How are you going to ensure that your customer satisfaction, how are you even going to solve problem, a great rapport between you and your guests? But a few skills of entrepreneurship, the skills of entrepreneurship, I'll share my email, or the management can really share with you, or the notes to you guys. Yeah, and of course, as an entrepreneur, you as well. You have to understand what is it exactly that I want. Who are going to make who are the people who are going to make or to help me realize this dream? How am I going to run my farm? How am I going to? You have to be so perfect when it comes to leadership skills as well. So I think I've answered. The hardest part of being an entrepreneur is how you face the fears that you have. What do you enjoy most about being an entrepreneur? Entrepreneurship is all about solving problems. So the fact is that you're giving solutions to the society, to the country as a whole, gives me and gives an entrepreneur real joy, because you come in with serious problems in the society, and that is just pure excitement. And that the fact that you're making progress and you're touching people's lives as well, and also creating job employment. So, I mean, entrepreneurship is so sweet. I challenge you to get into it. Could you please explain about skills and knowledge an entrepreneur should possess? I think I've explained on that. What advice would you give people who are starting new business? Wow. What advice should I give? Number one, understand the reason as to why you decided to enter into that business, so that when you face challenges, you don't scream. When you face challenges, you don't run away. When you face challenges, you don't quit. So number one, set your why so big so that the how becomes easy. That is the only advice that I can give to people who want to venture into business. And then realize that challenges will be all over, but they won't last. Yes. Knowing what you know now, is there anything you would have done differently when you were first starting out? Yes. Yes, a lot. I mean, looking at 4 years back, what I know now, I mean, I would have utilized the time that I had. I would have utilized the networks that I had. But again, it's never too late. Don't regret about it. As an entrepreneur, as a leader, as much as you feel like you wasted your time, as much as you feel like you wasted your energy, you wasted your resources, you wasted your networks, you didn't share your ideas as you expected to. Maybe that was not the right time. Maybe that was actually never the right time. They say the best time to plant trees was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. So the same applies to me. Now is the right time to act, for tomorrow may never come. Tomorrow may be too late. So as much as I may live in regret of not having utilized the time that I had back then, now is the best time. So I think if by chance we have anyone who feels the same way, I feel at some point, my advice to you is that now is the best time. Forget about what happened, forget about the past, forget about what you wanted to do. And I mean, that is crap. Now is the time you should focus. Now is the right time. Stop procrastination, quit complaining. You need to gear up. You need to invest more money, more time, more energy in building yourself to an extent that you're so busy to realize that you missed such opportunities. Yeah, I think that's all about that. We would like to visit your country, which is the scope of startup there. How is your government supporting it? Can you guide us? There are so many startups in Kenya. And by the way, welcome all to Kenya. Kenya is a great country. There are so many startups, and especially in technology. If you can come up with a startup in technology, and also trying to, you see, like right now, global challenges or crises involve like things like to do with climate change. We could come up with a startup in climate change. Personally, in the World Leader Summit, that is what we do. We support different youth, different startup companies, not at the ideal level though, at the accelerator level, so that we link you to the right investors and see you become the entrepreneur you've always wanted to become a better version of you. So if you have a startup and you would really want to link up, you can hook me up so that we can really help you in that as well. So yeah, so wow, that is a privilege that I'm giving you. So if you have a startup, you can hook up with your management and they will let me know, and then we can see what we can do about it. Are you struggling to hear me? I just said, if you have a startup, you can talk to the management, and then we can see how we can really help you, link you to the right investors, or we can see where exactly you need our help, especially in funding. So for those who want to come to Kenya, you're welcome anytime. I have a question. I want to start a business in African country. What is the process, ma'am? You need to identify the country that you want to venture into business. And of course, you have a contact person there so that the licensing is easier. Yeah, but it won't take long. We Africans are very lenient people, actually. That is what you need to understand. Any question that I've not answered? How to handle fears of being an entrepreneur? Wow, just be prepared psychologically. You have to realize that problems are so real. So the moment you just know that these are norms, I should expect problems. That's where that is actually a problem solved in its way. And then you have to keep very positive in life, and no matter the challenge that you face as an entrepreneur, you keep going regardless. So positivity above all.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we are like to visit the Kenya, ma'am. What is the process, ma'am? If you guide us, ma'am.
What is?
Ma'am, we would like to come there, ma'am.
You're welcome.
What is the process, ma'am?
You only need to get, I'm sure you have your passports ready. You only need to get a visa and you will be in Kenya.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, actually, the embassies can help you with that. If you have the embassy of Kenya there, they can help you. Or the ministry, the immigration, they will help you get the visa and then you will come to Kenya. And once you're here, you can call me.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any question that I've not answered? Let me check. I think I've answered all the questions. Anybody question or someone who really feels left out? Maybe by the time you come into Kenya, I'll be the president of the Republic of Kenya. You never know. So